Biohazard container located. Proceed to its location.
A red and blue streak flashes above the New York City skyline as police sirens scream the street below. A dark shadow moves silently among the city's rooftops, swift and unseen. Somewhere a crime has been committed and police need a hand, making Spider-Man springs into action. When trouble strikes, Spider-Man is there to lend a hand, or a web, as the case may be. Whether the situation involves an attack, supervillain, a bank robbery, or helpless people trapped inside a burning building, Spider-Man is the first one on the scene. He is referred to by many nicknames: the Webborn, Spidey, Webhead, Wallcrawler, Webswing, and Webswinger, to name a few. But who is this mysterious and misunderstood masked figure? As in this book, you can meet the man entirely behind the mask, come to know his friends, his family, his allies, and his enemies. All of your favorite characters from Spider-Man 2 are here. So, what are you waiting for? Spring the action in your film neighborhood Spider-Man.
Shane, I just killed somebody and it didn't show up in the kill feed. They're upstairs. Okay, you can continue reading. I'm dead.
Always on the run. Nothing ever comes easy for Peter Parker. Life is a constant juggling act. He is forced to balance his studies as a college student at the city university, a part-time job, and his freelance job as a photographer for the Daily Bugle. With so many things to do and so many places to be, Peter's main priorities overlap, forcing him to always be late and not show up at all. Peter is number one when it comes to taking Spider-Man photos. In fact, he is the only photographer in the city who managed to get a shot of the Web Crusader. Peter sells his Spider-Man photos to editor of the Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson. Jameson doesn't know why Peter Parker is the only photographer who can get a photo of Spider-Man, but that's because he doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. In order to manage the hard to get shots, Peter uses webbing to attach his camera to a high building ledge, and then sets up his cameras and automatically snaps shots of himself as Spider-Man in action. The money he makes from the photos helps Peter to pay rent, but even on a good day, money is always tight. Peter also looks out for his widowed aunt, May, who she lives alone in Queens, and Peter tries to get there as often as he can. But with all of his responsibilities, that is not always as often as he would like. He also happens to be on the call 24/7 as a wall-crawling, web-slinging hero named the Amazing Spider-Man. Not the movie's main Spider-Man, because not as good as the Raimi films. Clarification, asterisks that should be there. A difficult beginning. Peter Parker's life was tough almost from the beginning. Orphaned at a very young age, Peter went to live with his Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Rest in peace, Uncle Ben. True legend. Which is rare lucky break in unlucky life. A frightened child who was suddenly living with two people who he hardly knew. Uncle Ben and Aunt May raised Peter with love and support. They were as caring and giving as any parents could have been. Still, things were not easy for Peter. He was a shy boy who kept most to his books and chemistry set. He became an honor student in science, one of the brightest minds at Midtown High School in Queens, New York. One seemingly ordinary day, Peter's life changed forever. While attending a demonstration of genetically engineered spiders on a school-sponsored field trip, Peter Parker was bitten by one of the spiders. He underwent an astonishing transformation, acquiring the powers of the spider and becoming Spider-Man. Having his spider powers was a gift and may crush Peter. How could he balance all of his responsibilities? Most of the time, Spider-Man had to be in one place, while Peter Parker would be another. Peter takes Manhattan. After high school, Peter left Queens. He lived in Manhattan Law with his best friend, Harry Osborn, while he was taking college class.
Please stop after this chapter, okay?
But the loft was just temporary, and Peter soon moved to his own studio apartment. It was a very small place without much privacy, but since Peter was hardly ever there, it was okay. His landlord, Mr. Dickovich, was always after Peter for rent money. After all, the landlord that was his job. When Peter would come home with a long day of either school, work, or being Spider-Man, without fail, Mr. Dickovich was waiting for Peter's rent money. In between his jobs at school, the juggling act became Peter Parker's life, also included spending time with his other Aunt May. Since the death of his Uncle Ben, Peter tried to visit his beloved aunt, who now lived alone as often as he could, and naturally he missed his uncle tremendously. With all he had to do, Peter was having trouble getting to his university class sometime. His favorite professor, Dr. Connors, was greatly disappointed in Peter. Dr. Connors was a stickler for punctuality, and felt that Peter was not taking his students seriously enough. Just taking his studies seriously enough, but Dr. Connors had no way of knowing that
That's
this,
his front door.
without the amount of time Peter spent as Spider-Man, rescuing the citizens of New York City, plus juggling all of the other obligations. Peter had trouble balancing the responsibilities, and Peter could not tell his favorite professor the reason why he was always late either. He just hoped that Dr. Connors would tolerate his tardiness because he did not indeed love school. He hoped Dr. Connors would ignore the fact that he almost all of his research papers turned in late. That's the end of that chapter.
Thank you very much.